Today we're back looking at some creepy stalkers caught on camera.
I have a stalker who comes to my job 30 minutes before I close, and
brilliant.
I work alone. This man, because it's always a man, is in his late 30s, early 40s. He comes to my job and he waits in a parking lot. He'll drive up to the business window. He'll look for me. Okay, I'll watch him look for me. And when he sees me see him, he pulls off. He doesn't leave though. He does a circle, he does a lap around the parking lot. He parks. Okay, and he continues this behavior until something in his mind clicks where he just leaves. So today, when it happened, I'm a little bit shaken up telling you this story. Today when it happened, one of my customers comes in, my regular customers, and I say, hey, my stalker's outside, can you please get his license plate number? My regular customer goes out, and I get a call on the business phone. And he says, I am watching him watch you. He has taken his license plates off. And that is concerning. You're right, that is concerning that a person who is stalking a woman has taken his license plates off, because typically, generally, usually, if a person is taking their license plates off, they are aware of some sort of wrongdoing that is happening.
Isn't that illegal for you to do that?
Misbehaving, going to commit a crime, right? So my customer is like, you need to call 911. Now, when my stalker showed up at my job, I already texted my older brother. Okay, my brother's gonna come. One thing about my brother, I'm very grateful, because my whole family did show up. But he told me to call the police, and it should be on record, right? Previously, I just let people I knew know what was happening. He has never made any threats. He just does this weird ass.
Yeah, just watches
you. But
Ugh.
The fact that his license plates were taken off is very concerning, and so I talked to the police, and I get another call on my work phone, and it's the same customer telling, they told me they would wait until my brother showed up, and they're like, he's right out front. And so I go and look.
Okay, so the video ended there, but yeah, by the sounds of it, you do need to call the police. But sadly, whenever it comes to situations like that, the police can't really do a lot until they actually make physical contact. And then, by that point, it's usually far too late. Whenever people talk about stalkers, they just seem to think, oh, it's, someone following somebody to kill them and, get close to them. It could just be somebody following you to play mind games. You know how she was talking about how he's never made actual physical contact with her, but he kind of lingers around her? That probably freaks her out more. It's the fact she can't really do too much because he's not actually went up to her and spoken or touched her, but it's the fact that he's just sitting around there lingering.
This guy was so creepy. He was staring at me the whole time on the train, and he followed me.
I have a boyfriend. No, I can't. No, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend. Huh? Yeah, no. Yes. No. Sorry, I have a boyfriend, I can't.
I'd be so terrified of getting shoved onto them train tracks.
Nah.
I think this is in London in the underground.
Philippines. Yeah.
And he's just stood there.
I'm sorry.
Ooh. He said stand up. That's what I'm saying. It would not surprise me if he tried to throw her onto them tracks. And I know that's quite extreme to say, but it's a real thing. People are getting thrown onto the train tracks. Stop having conversations with these creepy men and stop responding to them. Also carry mace. It's a lot easier to say that than actually doing it. A lot of people are saying, stand up and walk away, but it's easier to say than actually do. Keep in mind, she's very close to train tracks. It also looked like he was standing over her. He could have been trying to corner her, etc. She could have been completely alone. The man obviously took a liking to her and was continuing the conversation, even though she was continually trying to end it.
The time I filmed my friend Grandpa creeping on me, she didn't believe me. I was 17 at the time.
Well, you see these groups, they indicate that there's no real
Oh no, absolutely not. I'm so sorry. That is not good. I think he was trying to make you laugh. In what world would an older man do that to a 17-year-old trying to make her laugh? Maybe you viewed it as him trying to make her laugh. I view it as something else. This is the setup. Never again go to that house, and that is not your friend. I mean, I'm with you. I would never go back to that house. However, you can't say it's a setup. You know, we don't really know what's going on, even though we know he was being a bit creepy towards her. He could have been doing the exact same thing to his granddaughter. You know, you don't really know what actually goes on in people's houses. All I know is that I didn't like what I seen there. I think he was trying to be silly. People just think it's creepy to be special or different, but it's not good. I agree with the last bit, you know, it's not good, but I don't think it's him being silly. It's not like him just pulling a random face, you know, he was flicking his tongue at her. It was just weird, isn't it? And just the way he was looking at her, ugh. I'm hoping that she got away harm-free from him, but if I were you, never go back to that house. Okay, so we're now gonna have a look at Reddit. Senior citizen stalks 18-year-old cashier. This is my first time posting on Reddit, so forgive me if I do this wrong or something. I wanted to share a story of when I was 18. I was working at my first ever job as a cashier. I'd been there almost 6 months and was really hoping for promotion sometime soon. We were a resale shop, so as long as I had another cashier working, I helped out with my other co-workers with stocking and cleaning. When I was on the floor, a customer approached me. Nothing at odd first, usually people just ask for help. That's what I'm here for. He comes up and goes, "Hi Jennifer." Not my real name, but I thought I'd put it there. "Hi, can I help you? Do you remember me? I bought those cups last week." No, I didn't actually remember him, but I wanted to be polite, and silly me thought he's just being an old man. I've dealt with many customers before, and I've never ever had one say, "Hi, do you remember me?" They've never said that to me. What's the worst he could do? "Sure, I hope you're enjoying them. Is there anything you're trying to find?" He shakes his head no and just kind of stands there. "Okay, well if you need anything, let me know." So I start to walk away, but he starts walking behind me. Not like far either. He was so close I could feel his body heat. After a minute of this, I turn and said, "You sure there isn't something you need?" He pulls out a little slip of paper that looks like it'd fit inside a fortune cookie and sets it in the shelf and slides it to me. "Do you have a boyfriend?" Yeah, so at this point, what you should do is just go to a manager. Because in a way, this could be viewed as harassment. You know, if you're being made to feel uncomfortable, a manager can ban that customer from coming to the store. Surprised and shocked, I said no. I had a girlfriend, but didn't think to say it just because of how surprised I was. "Well, let me take you fishing sometime." And the paper said his name Kevin on it, alongside his phone number. "Take it," he said. So I did, and ran into the employee of the back of the store and told my manager immediately. We concluded he probably wouldn't come back because I wasn't going to call him. We were wrong. Yeah, I'm so sorry, but in situations like that, you cannot just assume something's going to happen. You have to take firm action. He's came into the store asking if you've got a boyfriend, you know, talking to you, remembering you. Do you think he's going to like not come back again? I can guarantee you he will. He came back and tried giving me his phone number multiple times. Each time I saw him, I spoke to him less or went into employees only room. All of my managers were very supportive, except for one who thought I was overreacting whenever I told him about how he kept coming back. So your managers are being supportive. Why haven't they done anything? Managers do have the power to ban somebody from a shop, so why they haven't decided to use that power kind of confuses me. He would say stuff like he's a regular or he just wants his senior discount, despite the fact he would only buy his stuff at my register. I came off my lunch break once and he had just finished being checked out and was almost at the door and he saw me. We had a line wrapping around the store and he stood next to my register for an hour, staring at me until all the customers went away. He stood there and pulled out his number yet again. I was so stressed and he screamed, "Stop giving me your number, you're too old to be doing this." I broke down and he ran out of the store. I was tired of him waiting and always asking. He'd started going into the employees only part of the store, and my co-workers who closed said he had waited for me once in the parking lot and wrote down his plate numbers. Yeah, so yet again, this isn't like some innocent old man who's a customer and maybe wants to chat to people. This is a man who's got a weird infatuation with you. And yet again, going back to the point that I said, you know, why haven't your managers actually done something? They have the power to ban people. After I screamed and broke down, I thought he finally went away. He'd shown up every day for 2 weeks before then, but when I screamed, he stopped coming by for 1 week. The night he came back, my heart sunk into my chest. He came up to buy, I gave you some space. I've noticed after some silence, he pulls out his wallet. "Are you sure you don't want to go out with me?" Yes. So he brought his things out, his wallet back into his pocket. Then he paused and said he wanted to buy something else. So I rang it up and this time he pulls out a pocket knife and sets it on the counter. With his hand on it, he glares and says, "Now, are you sure you don't want to go out with me?" Scared, I take a step away and go, "Yes, I'm sure." He sighed and pulled out his wallet, paid, put it away and the knife, then stomps out the store. This doesn't surprise me, you know, it is just an escalation. And yet again, it should have been smacked in the head in the first place. You know, the minute he started harassing colleagues, you know, he should have been banned from the store. Customers get away with a lot of stuff they shouldn't get away with. You know, if they are doing something on purpose and know they're doing it on purpose, why wouldn't the managers try to stop it? I had a complete and total panic attack. During the confrontation, a co-worker who saw but didn't like me pointed and laughed when I mouthed help. I stormed back there and screamed, "He had a knife, he had a knife." I had to get calmed down as I yelled at her about how I could have been seriously hurt. I turned to my manager and told him about what happened, and then as soon as I got off, I called my mum and went straight to the sheriff's station. We filed a report about what happened that night and everything leading up to it. After a few days, I found out they went down there to where he lived and gave him a firm warning to stop. I was sad they didn't arrest him, but he stopped. They had to drive 3 towns over because his current living address was 40 minutes away. He'd been making daily trips to see me. Also, his wife was very unhappy to find out what he was doing. That's right, he was married on top of all of that. I ended up quitting shortly after, scared he would come back, but I was happy that it had all been finally taken care of. That's about about it though, scary and kinda long, but I hope you find my traumatizing story at least interesting. The most irritating part of that whole story is the fact that people just didn't care. Obviously that person's talking about how her managers were supporting her. They could have supported her more by banning that guy from the store. And they found out he was driving 40 minutes a day to see her. It just isn't normal, is it? That's awful. I'm sorry you're put in a situation that made you feel uncomfortable. It's even worse when it happens at work and you feel obliged to continue working and trying to be polite. Good on you for standing your ground. That co-worker who saw it and did nothing is an ass. Why didn't they get sacked? And also, why didn't that man get arrested for pulling a knife on you? Hello, that literally is a crime. Stalker goes to cops to complain about being threatened for stalking.
The Cracker Barrel, and I was going to play a song for a woman that I kind of like. And I got there, and she saw me, and she immediately pulled away. And I wasn't forcing her to listen or anything, you know. I just wanted to play the song for her, you know, give her her own choice if she wanted to.
Keep in mind, this stalker's called placing this woman that he was stalking,
yeah, I worked with her
because she
there
denied
for
him.
Like 5-6 months.
Did y'all have a relationship?
No, we were talking a little bit, but it never really got serious.
Okay.
But anyways, I pulled up there, and I was in the other parking lot, and I saw her get in her car, and I was like, oh shoot, it's my moment. So I pulled up there next to her, and she pulled away from me, and so I chased her a little bit, just because, I don't know, women are crazy. Like, I felt like she, like, wanted me to chase her.
Yeah, she's crazy.
Well, it's just like, I only went, like, a couple blocks down the street.
I'm just saying, don't you think chasing somebody's crazy when they obviously don't want to?
Well, I had my song playing, and I wanted to, like, her to hear it, maybe.
Well, apparently she didn't want to hear it, right? So what else happened? Let's get on with the story.
Well, anyways, her father called me up, and he made some threats to me and to my life.
Okay.
And so I just want to have his name on file.
What did he say to you?
I think he said he's going to stab me, like, but he's like cussing at me.
He said that, or he did?
Shouldn't have been stalking
He
his daughter
says,
then.
I'm going to do something to you. I swear I'd do something to you.
For chasing his daughter?
Yeah, but it wasn't chasing. It was like going down
It wasn't
a couple
chasing,
streets.
it was just following.
That's like fun to women. Like, women like that. They're a little bit exciting.
No.
They don't.
Well,
Women don't like to be chased.
What about like...
It's just the fact that, like, he's telling this to the police and
What about
videoing
like
it.
BDSM where women like to have fantasies?
Well, apparently this girl doesn't.
No.
Who knows? Most women do like having fantasies.
No, they don't. They don't want to be
I don't know.
assaulted.
But,
Apparently she don't.
well,
So what do you want us to do?
I just want you to get his name on file, just in case he does do anything
Do
to me.
you know his name?
I know his daughter's name.
What do you know his name?
I know her name. I don't know his name. He called me from a restricted phone number.
Okay.
Good, because you'll probably end up
Here's
stalking
my
him.
suggestion. Leave her alone.
Well, this was one song I made, and this was the final chance I was going to have.
Here's my chance. Here's my advice. It's over. Leave her alone.
Okay.
Fathers will hurt you over their daughters.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is she needs to have her own free will, man. You do not understand. I'm a man myself, bro, and I have needs myself.
She's choosing her free will by telling her daddy what happened to you, and I'm telling you.
Yeah, you know, the fact she's sending her dad after you should be a
She's
sign.
being controlled by him.
That's fine. That's fine. That's her choice, right? Free
Well,
choice, free will.
I think she should go do...
Okay, you
Ooh.
need to leave.
It's legal.
You need to leave.
Well,
We're not doing anything. You need to leave.
I'm having a discussion on...
I'm having a discussion telling you to leave.
Are you threatening me with
I'm
arrest?
not threatening you. I'm telling you to leave.
This
We're
is a
done.
public
This
property.
isn't normal. Ooh.
If you
You know, it's like you should be
if you do that
arrested.
on public property,
Ooh.
I'll leave under...
You're free to do whatever you want to right here, but we're not doing anything else. I'm just giving you advice. The girl doesn't want to talk to you.
Yeah, but... there's
Oh, wait, so
something
he's
twisted
turned
about
up to
that.
her
It's
place.
twisted about the way you think.
I was going to
Or
let
is
her
this
make
the
her own
police
choice after
station?
the song.
Well, she's made her choice.
And I just don't think she had a reasonable opportunity to make a choice, because I'm going to blow
How
up,
old
and
is
I'm going to
she?
be a famous DJ, and I'm going to be like
How old is she?
2 years older than me.
How much is
27.
that? How much?
27?
She's old enough to make her own mind. I'll speak with her. Is she working today?
I think so.
Do you have her phone number?
I believe so. But I can't stop recording the video.
Well, that's okay. I'll go by her job. She works at Cracker Barrel, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'll speak with her and then I'll get back with you, okay?
Alrighty, sounds
All right,
good.
have a good one. No
Thank you,
problem.
guys.
You know, it's just the fact that, like, you would admit that to the police and then think that they'd be on your side. Who is this woman? Because she needs a restraining order against him immediately. You know, the fact that someone's sending their dad after you is a pretty big sign, in my opinion. And he went to the station to say that.
Although,
Oh.
you know what?
Yeah, no wonder she's scared of
I
you.
hope you see this video. You know what happens when women don't ever, you know, come to terms with themselves? Bad happens. I don't know. Something the cops want to deny me trying to get her to be straight. Something is wrong about that.
Wait, so is she
why these traditional
lesbian or
think they can speak whenever it's this woke, belligerent LGBT that has her
so
right now.
Basically, she's not into men. He doesn't like that.
And her father is controlling the. I just don't see it. I'm older than her father. That's how I feel right now. I've lived this life. I've been the greatest. I've been down and I've been about.
And you're gonna be in jail.
Where this is going, but snakes, man. She was gonna lure me into a trap whenever I was gonna go, you know, play a song for her. It's just how it is. But shout out to all my bros. I know that my dudes, you know, I'm really getting depressed recently, you guys.
Good.
I feel like there's not faith in humanity.
Oh god, right, that was absolutely freaky, wasn't it? So basically, a woman is a lesbian and he doesn't like that and he wants her to date him. So he's stalking her and now the dad's threatening to beat him up, which honestly I think he should. Glad he recorded this and his face. Exactly, it'll just be used as evidence against him. You know, he's gonna be hit with a restraining order, hopefully. This weirdo is gonna hurt somebody someday. It would not have surprised me if he's already hurt somebody. You know, the way he is talking is weird. He has a crush on this woman who turns out to be a lesbian and he's claiming that, like, you know, she really should be with him. When realistically, he really should be in a jail cell. I really hope the department keeps an eye on this dude. He really seems pretty unhinged and possibly dangerous. I expect that the reason the officer wants to go speak to the victim is to advise her to seek a restraining order so they can help. That's what I'm saying, you know, hopefully he does ring her up and say, you know, we've had a guy come to the police station to report you. We want to help you. It's time for you to file that restraining order. Just creepy, isn't it? It's just the fact he looks that way as well, you know, it just doesn't surprise me. He just is an ugly freak. But anyways, guys, that's some creepy stalkers caught on camera. If you see me like a more creepy stalkers, let me know if you will. Press bigger, subscribe, and see you all tomorrow for another video.